Hey everybody, how's it going? Travel Man Dan here, and welcome to today's episode of Reading Man Dan. We're continuing on with the December 2020 Vlogmas series, as today I read you the 22nd book, The Littlest Elf. It's going to be a lot of fun, so sit back, relax, and get ready for a great episode. Let's go! Hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out today's episode. If you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. Ring the notifications bell so you're notified when new episodes come out each and every week. And let's go ahead and get ready for this great story, The Littlest Elf. Wow, check that out. Right away you open up and they give you a whole page of fun stickers that are of the characters in the book, and that's really great. You can go ahead and peel those off and put them wherever you want. Don't put them on the dressers. I'm sure your parents won't like that. All right, here we go. The Littlest Elf, written by Brandi Dougherty, illustrated by Kirsten Richards. For Annette, Gina, and Nicole, BD. For Scott and Matt, the cheekiest elves I know, KR. All right, that's from our author and from the illustrator. And here we go. Oliver was an elf. He lived with his family in the North Pole. There were many elves in Santa's village, but Oliver was the littlest one. All right, take a look. There it is, the family of elves in the North Pole. And you can see Oliver, right? He's standing on a whole bunch of presents just to make him almost as tall as his other family members. It was Christmas time and Oliver was excited. This year he would discover his special job at one of Santa's workshops. Yeah! He just needed to visit each shop to see which one was the right fit. All right, check it out. Oliver, he's excited. It's Christmas time. Which shop will he go to? The toy maker, the bicycle maker, the book makers? Well, he's got to visit each one and see which one's a good fit, right? Kind of like a job interview. You got to go see where you fit in. And, well, Oliver is excited to go ahead and visit all these places and find out what his job at the North Pole is going to be this Christmas time. At the toy workshop where his mom worked, Oliver tried to make cuddly bears, but he got lost in the huge stuffing pile. Oliver, an elf asked. Oliver's mom said, I think you're too little for the toy workshop. Why don't you try helping your dad at the bicycle workshop instead? All right, take a look. So Oliver got lost in this huge stuffing pile that they use at the bear making place where his mom works. And well, his mom had to sit him down and have a heart-to-heart and said, look, maybe you're just too little. Why don't you go on over to the bicycle makers where your father is working, and maybe that's a better fit for you. Let's find out and see what happens to little Oliver. So Oliver went to Santa's bicycle shop. I'm ready to help, he said. Oliver watched as the elves added wheels and seats and handlebars and bells. But the tools were very big for Oliver's hands. Maybe baking is your special job, Oliver's dad told him. You should visit your brother at the bakery next. Aww, poor Oliver. All right, well, look at it. He's over here. He's checking out the other elves. They're putting on the wheels. They're putting on the seats and the handlebars. And he's trying to help. Look at him. He's trying his best. And his father says, look here, son. These tools are too big for you. Maybe your calling is over at the bakery with your brother. Poor Oliver. Maybe he had a job with his mom at the teddy bear store. Now he tried out for the bicycle shop with his dad, but neither of them is a good fit. So he's moving on to the bakery where his brother works. Let's find out what happens. Off Oliver went to the bakery. These elves made sugar plum cookies and candy cane squares. But when Oliver tried to stir the cookie dough, Oliver, look out! One of the elves shouted. He fell into a giant mixing bowl. Sorry, Ollie, his brother said. You're too little for the bakery. Maybe your special job is at the bookmaker's shop. All right, we'll take a look over here. We see all the elves in the bakery. They're working hard. They're going ahead and they're putting the frosting on the cakes. They're mixing it up. But when poor little Oliver was mixing, it was just too hard for him. He couldn't stir that cookie dough, and it flipped him around, went around upside down, and ended up falling into the pot of the cookie dough. And his brother had to have that heart-to-heart with him too. He said, look, I just don't think this is it for you. I think you should maybe try the bookmaker. Maybe you'll have better luck. Maybe that's the better fit for you. Why don't you go check it out, bro? Oliver arrived at the last of Santa's workshops, where his sister worked. The bookmakers there wrote amazing stories and drew wonderful pictures. Can I help? Oliver asked. Of course, the elves replied, but the ink pot was kind of tough to reach, and the stack of paper was very tall. Oh, Ollie, his sister cried, bookmaking was harder and messier than it looked. Aww, oh, poor Oliver. Look, he shows up. He's happy. He's excited. His sister is a bookmaker. The elves are receptive. They want him to help out. They're like, sure, no problem. But then he can't reach the ink, and then he flips over again. He falls over, knocks all the papers. The ink just splashes all over the place. And his sister says, look, Oliver, I'm sorry. This bookmaking thing isn't going to work out. It's just not supposed to be this messy. Oh, poor Oliver. Kind of feel for the little guy. Oliver wandered through the North Pole. He was sad. Oliver knew there had to be one special job he could do, even if he was little. Then he heard the sound of hooves clattering at the stables. Inside, a herd of reindeer had gathered to meet Dot, the new reindeer. She was little, just like Oliver. Wow, look, okay. Oliver is really down and out. He's super sad, right? He just can't find that special job. But then he hears something. What's that? Over in the stable of reindeer, he sees another little reindeer being born. Welcome to the world, Dot. And Oliver is so happy because Dot is small and little just like him. Dot was very excited to help fly Santa's sleigh. She practiced for the big night by jumping and hopping and leaping, but she could not fly. The reindeer's mama gave her a gentle kiss. Dot was still too little. All right, she has the spirit and the enthusiasm. Check her out. She's jumping. There's Dot jumping. She's hopping, but unfortunately, she still can't fly. And the mother, well, gives her a little soft kiss and kind of comforts her and says, don't worry, one day you'll be able to fly. Dot looked very sad. Oliver wanted to cheer her up. He dug in his pockets to find a treat for Dot, but instead he found little trinkets from each workshop he had visited. Just then he had an idea. What's that idea? Well, take a look. Dot is really sad, just like Oliver once was. There's no place for her. She thought she was going to be able to help fly Santa's sleigh this year. But don't worry, Oliver knows what you're feeling. So he tried to cheer her up by digging into his pockets. And find a snack? No, he found all of these little trinkets from all the little workshops that he went to, like the bookmaker and the bicycle place and the bakery, all these little gadgets and knickknacks and bric-a-bracs. Let's see what he does with them. Oliver and Dot used the tiny treasures to make ornaments, cards, and fun decorations for all the hard-working elves in the village. Wow! The littlest elf and the littlest reindeer filled the sleigh with their Christmas treats. They delivered the presents to all the workshops. The elves loved their special gifts. Wow, that is awesome. Check it out. Right here, Oliver and Dot, they go ahead and they start using all of those little trinkets that were in Oliver's pocket, and they're making cards, ornaments, wrapping presents. And who do they give them to? They give them to all the hardworking elves throughout each one of those little workshops. They're so happy. They're so happy to receive and have this really cool and special gift given to them by the littlest reindeer and the littlest elf. Soon, Santa came to see what all the fuss was about. He watched as Oliver and Dot made everyone smile. Suddenly, Santa had an idea. "Oliver and Dot," he said, "with your big hearts and great Christmas cheer, won't you be my very important helpers this year?" What? Okay, take a look. Santa over here, he wants to see what all the hubbub's about, right? And he sees it. He sees Dot pulling Oliver on a little smaller sled, but Oliver's handing out all these little special gifts, and the joy and happiness on each person's face prompts Santa to go ahead and tell him, "Look, I have a very special job for you this year. Very special, very special. Let's find out what it is." Oliver and Dot had found their special jobs after all, but more important, they had each found a special friend. Wow, look at that. Very cool. Look at Oliver and Dot. And well, they didn't get the jobs that they wanted to do for this Christmas, but more importantly, they found friendship. They found a bond between the two of them. And that is the end of this story. What an amazing book. What an excellent story. Great message. I loved reading The Littlest Elf. Such a fantastic book. Guys, if you like what I'm doing and you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. Ring the notifications bell so you're notified when new episodes come out each and every week. Go ahead and give me a like on this video. Drop me down a comment below. Let me know what you liked about this video. Or if you can suggest another fun, exciting book for me to make an episode of Reading Man Dan, I'd love to hear from you. Wow, really great book here. I hope you saw something cool and fun in this book, like all the different workshops that the elves worked at. It's unfortunate that none of them worked out for poor little Oliver, but it all worked out in the end. I hope you learned something new and interesting in this book, like the message of how important it is to have a good friend. It really stunk when Oliver was basically shooed away from each one of the workshops that he wanted to find a special job. And the same thing with Dot, wasn't able to fly Santa's sleigh. But the two of them bonded, they found friendship, and there's nothing more important than that, and I love the message in this book. But most of all, I hope you were inspired to read The Littlest Elf yourself. Or maybe watch this episode again, because this book is a lot of fun, and it's going to take you through an epic adventure and story, and you're really going to enjoy reading it and sharing it during the holiday season. Guys, at this time, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't, Happy Holidays. But to each and every one of you, I wish you much love, joy, and happiness throughout this year's holiday season. And may next year, 2021, be the best year of your life. Thanks again for watching. I'm Travel Man Dan, aka Reading Man Dan. And remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it.